Shalom. Shalom and welcome. This is Man's Final Steps. It is a continuing series to those who will be among the ranks of the 144,000 in multitude. Today is February 16th, 2014. My name is Symmanayah, and in this segment of Man's Final Step, it is entitled Included versus Excluded. Again, included versus excluded. My brothers and sisters, I cannot stress enough that these are critical times. The reality of end-time prophecy fulfillment is before us. Our days have been shortened as foretold in scriptures. There is much work to be done before the return of our Mashiach, before the return of our Messiah Yahusha, complete with varying details that must and will come to be. We will face many humbling experiences, and in the wake of such, the children of obedience will be strengthened with the power and might of the Spirit of Yahusha as he so orders. There will be a gathering of the 144,000 in multitude who will come out of the great tribulation. I am compelled to believe that these who will be among the ranks of the 144,000 in multitude will be gathered to a safe place before the return of our Messiah, Yahusha. Unity will be established, and we will witness an emerging phenomenal group led by the chosen leaders of the Spirit of Yahusha. It is time, my brothers and sisters, to begin coming to grips with the fact that there will be those included and many who will be excluded. This will result in many being purged from our ranks, as well as witnessing strangers brought together in our midst. Strangers with the same goal to do the will of the Almighty Father Yahuwah, strangers who intensely pursue obedience and improved worship, will join our ranks. The process will be about results demonstrating those included versus those who will be excluded. It will be painful, to say the least. It appears there are more self-appointed leaders promoting compromising and patronizing behaviors than those who embrace obedience among us. Consider this. If there was a mass group of people with different translations of scriptures, different days for garden Shabbat, different practices and behaviors, how then can this reflect worshiping and obeying He that is most righteous? How could that be a reflection of what is written in Scripture? If we come together with many compromising beliefs and practices, I submit to you, my brothers and sisters, there will be living instructions, guidance, reproof, discipline, and judgment, or right rulings, with severe benefits or consequences. We will witness that among us. The Spirit of Yahusha will work in us, and through His chosen leaders. Proof will emerge. Again, there will be those who will be included, as well as those who will be excluded. While there are many self-appointed mores, teachers, preachers, leaders, etc., who lean on the letter or the text regarding the function of judgment or right rulings, this does not make void what will come to be. We will witness those used by the Spirit of Yahusha executing right rulings, executing judgment as guided by Him. There are false teachers and leaders that would have you to lean on the text or verses that instruct you not to judge one another. But many fail to realize this is instructing us not to use our own intelligence, our own academic prowess, our own skill sets to judge people. We are to pray without ceasing and yield to the discernment and what is revealed to us by the Spirit of Yahusha. It is through the Spirit of Yahusha that orders and commands will come to us, and then we will find ourselves from time to time, yes, judging and executing right rulings among one another as so ordered by our Messiah. We will witness the chosen leaders of the Spirit of Yahusha execute judgment as guided by our Mashiach. Allow me to pause for a minute and read some scriptures. Psalms 133, 1 through 3, and it reads as follows. See how good and how pleasant it is for brothers to dwell together in unity. Like the precious oil on the head running down on the beard of Aharon running down on the collar of his robes. It's like the dew of Hermon that comes down on the mountains of Zion. For there Yahuwah commanded the blessings, life forever. How beautiful it is for brothers to dwell together in unity. 1 Corinthians 14:32 and 33 reads, And the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets, for Elohim is not Elohim of disorder, but of peace, as in all the assemblies of the set apart ones. So many people are quick to blame those who are obedient to the guidance of the Spirit of Yahusha, as in those who are instituting confusion and division. But I say to you, my brothers and sisters, keep in mind, those who are among the obedient are doing what they are ordered. Most cases when you see confusion and division, it is evidence that someone is not in tune with the living guidance of the Spirit of Yahusha. It is evidence that one may know the scriptures, but not the power thereof given by the Almighty Father. So be careful of whom you are quick to point your finger and say that they're adding or causing confusion. For confusion is birthed out of ignorance, out of unlearnedness, out of insensitivity to the Spirit of Yahusha. Allow me to read Matthew 10:34 through 38. It says, Do not think I have come to bring peace on earth. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword. The word division is used, while sword has the same meaning here. For I have come to bring division, a man against his father, a daughter against his mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's enemy are those of his own household. He who loves father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and he who loves son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And he who does not take up his stake and follow after me is not worthy of me. You see, my brothers and sisters, out of obedience will come division, a purging, a coming away, or a cleansing, or a rejecting of that which is unrighteous. Allow me to move to Matthew 12:25 and 26. And Yahusha knew their thoughts and said to them, Every reign divided against itself is laid waste, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. If Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How then does his reign stand? I want to move on to Matthew 13:24 through 30. Another parable he put before them, saying, The reign of the heavens hath become like a man who sowed good seed in his field. While men slept, his enemy came and sowed darnel among the wheat and went away. In some translation it will say tares. And when the blade sprouted and bore fruit, then the darnel also appeared. And the servants of the master of the house came and said, Master, did you not sow good seed in your field? From where then does it have the tares, or the darnel? And he said to them, an enemy did this. And the servants said to him, Do you wish then that we go and gather them up? But he said, No, lest while you gather up the darnel or the tare, you also uproot the wheat with them. Let both grow together until the harvest, and at the time of harvest I shall say to the reapers, First gather the darnel or the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my granary. Many people have taken this to say it's okay to be among compromising teachings, practices, and behaviors. I submit to you, my brothers and sisters, believe it or not, this is referring to those who imitate behaviors of obedience, and it is hard for us to discern whether or not their heart is true. But to those who are obviously contrary to the teachings and believings and practices of righteousness as we see before our eyes, made known to us by the Spirit of Yahusha, we must come away from such. We must purge those who are not in one mind with one accord when it comes to worshiping and obeying the Almighty Father. Believe it or not, my brothers and sisters, catastrophic events are over the horizon, and not all of us will have a chance to say our goodbyes to our loved ones. In the wake of these catastrophic events, those who will be among the ranks of the children of obedience will be humbled and discover obedience like never before. We will see purgings. We will see those who will be included versus those who will be excluded. I am very aware these words could be perceived as fear-mongering. I strongly suggest you search the scriptures. They bear record of the use of warnings as well as being mindful of the signs of the times. We do not have control over the schedule of events unfolding, nor can we alter promises, covenants made by the Almighty Father Yahuwah. Unity will be established, period, among the children of obedience. Those who are obviously against what is righteous will be reproved, with many being purged from the ranks of those being gathered. There will be some who outwardly appear to be in unity with the ranks of the children of obedience, as I mentioned, and they will imitate obedience very well. And in their expertise of mimicking righteousness, they will be allowed to journey alone. But again, there are those who are obviously against righteous teachings, practice, and behaviors, those who are blatantly wrong, and they will either be reproved and repent or be purged from the company of the children of obedience. Addressing the subject of being included versus excluded, there will be many who will fuel arguments regarding who gets to make the decision of who will be included versus excluded from the ranks of the gathered. Yes, there will be arguments. We will witness those who are void of discerning and understanding the living guidance of the Spirit of Yahusha. We will witness those who are void of hearing his voice, corrected or removed. Regardless of how passionate they may come to be, this will not stop the hand of the Almighty Father. There will be those among the ranks of the children of obedience who will struggle with the decisions made by leaders who are chosen by the Spirit of Yahusha. Nevertheless, we will overcome. Loved ones, friends, those within our fellowship, yes, we will face many surprises along this journey, but this will not stop the gathering of the children of obedience. I strongly urge each and every listener to consider discussing possibly saying goodbye. Say your goodbyes. Consider preparing those who are your loved ones, because soon the time will come when you will not be able to reach those who are left behind. Yes, this is a time to begin the discussion among loved ones that you may one day depart, that you may one day be called, ordered by the Spirit of Yahusha to come to a gathering in order to fulfill what is written in scriptures. I suggest discussion improve regarding forced movement and transition, as well as being obedient and acting to every command that the Spirit of Yahusha will indeed send forth. These are indeed man's final steps. The 144,000 in multitude, they are being refined and will emerge among the ranks of the gathered. There will be those of whom we know included, and there will be those who will be excluded. There will also be those left behind due to unbelief and rebellion. There will also be those among our brothers and sisters who will face martyrdom. Our prayers go out to each and every one who ends up being a martyr for Yahusha's sake, our Messiah. Remember, it's time to take this journey with the utmost of sincerity, for there are no rewind buttons, and there will be no do-over opportunities in the coming days. Until next time, my brothers and sisters, remember, there will be those included versus excluded. We must learn to obey He that is Almighty. In spite of our feelings and passion, we must come to respond in obedience. And we will. Those who are foretold in scriptures to participate in prophecy fulfillment. Scriptures will be fulfilled. It is a plan of the Most High Father, and you may be surprised at your identity, your purpose, what is expected of you. Yes, there will be many surprises in the coming days. Scriptures will be fulfilled. Until next time, my brothers and sisters, stay tuned as this series, Man's Final Steps, continues. Shalom, shalom, shalom.